Okay. All right. I think we're ready to begin. My name is Glenda. I'm a strategic alliance management. I have Fonda Loxton here, and we're expecting one more presenter, but it'll be a few more minutes. But we can go ahead and get started.
Okay. Welcome to the quarterly project review with the vendors. Can everyone see the projects.ok.gov website?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is available. It has not changed other than we do update content periodically. So this is the state's project, complete project list and up and coming project list. Then we're on just the home page right now. So on the current project tabs, I just want to take a couple minutes to go through these. Anything that's over $100,000 with estimated expenditures or budget for a project will be listed here in this section. A couple of definitions that we've added were the high-level business case, which means we are in the process, if it's in that status, developing a high-level business case. We are in the process of building a 50% project schedule, cost, and resource estimate. If we are in the high-level business case ready for approval, that means we are now taking this back to the agencies to get their approval to move forward with that estimate. The next one is develop detail level business case, and that we are actually going in the planning. We're in the planning of a project, and we're getting an estimate down to a 10% plan. And then the detail level business case ready for approval, once again, many times, as long as if it's going over the 50% plan, those go back to the agency. Many times they do not go back to the agency. If the agency's already budgeted and it stays within budget, we'll move right on through planning into execution. So the last status is execution, and that is where we're actually doing the actual deliverables in the project and implementation, testing, configuration, all of that. So if we're going to do an RFP, you will see an RFP come into play many times when we're in the detail planning. Okay, that is when we would do an RFP. It would be in the high-level planning, high-level business case development, where we would be deciding what procurement method we're going to use, what direction we're going to go, and then you'll see us doing the procurement in the planning stage. The current cost health definitions, you'll see there, they're red, yellow, green. 20% is red. Greater between 10 and 20 is yellow, and anything less than 10 is going to be green. You can download all the projects with into a spreadsheet, and so here are the list of projects that we have going. And when we talked about the status, that's where you see this. Like this one is actually in execution. Okay. All right, so that's our current project list. The up and coming project list, which is what we want to talk about today, are some of the spotlights that we're looking for potential solutions. And today we have two. It's the Enterprise Travel Request and Travel Claim System. We have several that we're wanting to combine, and we'll talk more detail about that. And then the legacy application transition to modern platforms. Okay, so that is where, if we're going to have projects that we'd like to have discussions with the vendor community, they will be on that up and coming projects tab. The opportunity maps, those are updated continually. You'll probably see another big push to update those in the next 1 to 3 months as the fiscal year rolls over. We'll have agencies actually going out and adding projects to their portfolios, okay? And these will be projects in all different statuses. Again, like if we go look at, let's see, State Department of Education, it'll open up and it'll show you the projects for the next 3 years that they're looking at doing, okay? And then the colors, our representative down here, whether they're in concept, initiation, planning, execution, or close. So you'll see what it is that the State Department of Education has planned for the next 3 years as far as technology projects goes. Okay. And did I shut the whole thing? Sorry about that. I'm not sure they can see that. No. Okay. Sorry about that. I closed everything. And then events are going to be the events like the webinars that we're doing now. Okay. Okay, so I think Sarju is on now. If we want to go back and talk about this enterprise travel request and travel claim system. I don't know if Sarju wants to chime in or if you want me to go over that, Sarju.
No, I'll talk about it. So there are quite a few requests we've got where agencies are seeking a travel management solution. What they're looking for is something they can access from any location with any device, so mobile-friendly, internet-based, where they can control whether, who can log in. They want to be able to open travel claims to not just employees, but external contractors that don't show up in their Active Directory domain. And then the features they're looking for is basically be able to plan trips. The trips could be emergency trips or non-emergency trips. They could be overnight trips, in which case the workflow is different. It could be the same day trip, in which case the workflow is different and includes mileage. They want to be able to link to the fleet of vehicles that agencies have, where if someone wants to check out a vehicle, notch the mileage, and be seamlessly integrated with the travel management system. In addition, they're looking for claim entry, so where employees can submit their travel claims, as well as the ability to audit travel claims by the agency should they choose to assign an auditor to travel claims or some travel claims. Then go into claim payment, where employees are notified when their payment vouchers are created. Have several different reporting ability by division, by finance location, by physical location, whatnot. And then also reports on miles traveled, amount paid, all those kind of things. And also, if possible, a vehicle tracking system, so that they can, today everything is entered manually, and if they had a vehicle tracking system, they would like to automate as there are hundreds of vehicles move around the state. So at a very high level, that's kind of the features agencies are looking for. Today, this work is being done by homegrown systems, spreadsheets, access databases, whatnot. And instead of all that, these agencies are attempting to modernize into something that is more of a COTS-like offering, where they can buy something commercially off the shelf and begin using it. So, I'll take any questions you have.
Okay. I know it says that we'll be accepting demonstrations and discussions through June 15th. What the request really is that you contact us by then. We realize those discussions or demonstrations may happen in more the July-August timeframe. But if we have any vendors that are interested in coming and discussing with us a potential solution for this, we'd like to hear, reach out to Sam's and before the 15th of June to kind of get it on the calendar and scheduled. Okay, if there's no questions on that one, the next one is about legacy application transition to modern platforms. And we have with us today Jerry Moore, which is the Director of Application Services for the state, to tell you a little bit more about what he's looking for, what he's thinking in a potential solution for this.
Howdy, everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
So obviously the state has a large investment in custom applications to meet specific agency needs. Specifically what we're talking about when we say legacy platforms, we're talking about things that are perhaps end of life by the manufacturer standards, whether that be the hardware that it runs on, the platform, the development language it was written in, or if it's a commercial off-the-shelf application, it's no longer supported by the vendor either at all or with the versions that we're running. The second thing we're talking about there is any skill set that is no longer readily available in our marketplace. So specific skill sets that we're kind of talking about are COBOL, any development that's done on the AS400, Oracle Forms and Reports, an Oracle developer, VSAM, some other skills like that. So we can get into those. And so specifically we'll be looking for what skill sets that a vendor could bring to bear, what delivery model they would use for that. Since we are talking mostly about apps that have been custom, we don't necessarily expect that someone will have knowledge over a specific application because in most cases we're the only customer of the application that we've written. More about the skill sets or the methodology and business functions that it's supporting. So any questions on that?
Jerry, this is Dave with IRG. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
About how many applications do you guys have?
Total or just in the legacy portfolio?
That you're trying to convert?
I'd have to think about a count. Somewhere over 300.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I guess maybe a follow along into that. We have, I think it was Dave that asked that. There's about 25 million lines of COBOL code at the state. So a significant number of those applications are in one language.
Okay, I appreciate that. So 25 million stay in the COBOL language. 25
million lines of code. I think if I remember correctly, I've only been here a few months. It was over 130 just in applications that code set represents. And then Oracle Forms is another large one. Okay.
And I'd like to add that some of the COBOL applications have efforts to begin modernization,
Yeah,
but some don't have any plans at all.
And some of them, the plan is so far off in the future, we need a short-term development support capability, as well as a modernization activity.
No, that helps us to know what's in your discovery process. So we appreciate it.
Okay.
Any other questions for Jerry or Sarju, either one? Okay.
Is that going to wrap us up?
Okay. Any questions outside of these projects that the vendors might have?
Pretty quiet out there.
Okay, well, thank you guys for attending, and we look forward to some potential solutions to things that we're working on right now.
Thank you.
This is Dave again. I got one question. If we need to get a hold of Jerry, what's the best way to do that?
So you can submit anything that you want, as far as if you want a demo, have discussions, present, send an email to sam@omes.ok.gov.
Okay.
And I will get that and make sure that you get what you need, get taken care of.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.